भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
तच्च संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्या। मिला पेज नंबर कितना?
760
इनको दिखा
18.77
मिला। तच्च संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्या रूपम अद्भुतं हरे। विस्मयो मे महाराजन् दृश्यामि च पुनः पुनः। तच्च संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्य रूपम अद्भुतं हरे। विस्मयो मे महाराजन् दृश्यामि च पुनः पुनः। तच्च संस्मृत्य संस्मृत्य रूपम अद्भुतं हरे। विस्मयो मे महाराजन् दृश्यामि च पुनः पुनः।
संस्कृत्य संस्कृत्य रूपम अद्भुतं हरे। विस्मयो मे महाराजन् दृश्यामि च पुनः पुनः। तच्च संस्कृत्य संस्कृत्य रूपम अद्भुतं हरे। विस्मयो मे महाराजन् दृश्यामि च पुनः पुनः। तच्च संस्कृत्य संस्कृत्य रूपम अद्भुतं हरे। विस्मयो मे महाराजन् दृश्यामि च पुनः पुनः।
तच्च संस्कृत्यं रूपम अद्भुतं हरे। विस्मये महाराजन् दृश्यामि च पुनः पुनः।
That cha also sanskritya remembering sanskritya remembering rupam form ati greatly adbhutam wonderful hare of Lord Krishna. Vismayah wonder may might mahan great rajan king drishyami I am enjoying cha also punah repeatedly.
थोड़ा पीछे कर के भी आवाज आ रहा है। ऐसा ऊपर होगा एडजस्टमेंट सब
दरवाजे को साइड पे सीट है,
वो साइड लगा देते ना, वो बेटर
साइड पे सीट है।
ये चेयर पे लगा, वो चेयर पे लगा देते।
हाँ
उधर भी प्लग है।
उधर प्लग है।
ठीक। ये फिर बॉक्स
इस तरफ भी आएगा, क्यों नहीं? माइक है ना,
माइक तो भी है, माइक तो इसमें है।
इससे ज्यादा आएगा।
आएगा, आप बोलते हो नहीं आता।
हाँ, हरे कृष्ण। हाँ,
अच्छा वो हमें भी थोड़ा हवा लग रहा है।
लगा रहा है।
बिट्टू अग्रवाल जी,
ऐसा बोलेंगे। स्पीड कम करो। इधर लगाओ, नहीं तो
ऑफ करके करो।
हाँ, आप लोग इधर आ जाओ। It appears that Sanjaya also, by the grace of Vyasa, could see the universal form Krishna exhibited to Arjuna. It is of course said that Lord Krishna had never exhibited such a form before. It was exhibited to Arjuna only, and some great devotees could also see the universal form of Krishna when it was known to Arjuna, and when it was shown to Arjuna, and Vyasa was one of them. He is one of the great devotees of the Lord, and he is considered to be a powerful incarnation of Krishna. Vyasa disclosed this to his disciple Sanjaya, who remembered that wonderful form of Krishna exhibited to Arjuna and enjoyed it repeatedly. इधर लगाओ।
बंद करके करो।
एकदम फ्रंट पे ले लो प्रभु जी, एकदम नीचे फ्रंट में ले लो, वही वाला।
हाँ,
बंद करो एक बार, ये हाथ में नहीं लगता। आ रही है?
हाँ,
आ रही है?
आवाज तो आ रही है रे।
ठीक है, बारिश आया है।
माइक पकड़ लेता है।
ठीक है, कोशिश करते हैं।
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So now original Bhagavad Gita was finished. Now Sanjaya was speaking, right? Last week also I was describing. Now Krishna, he came as Shantiduta. That time they were discussing what is to be offered to Krishna, because they sent a message that Krishna is coming. Then Duryodhan was saying, they say in Hastinapur, the best bhavan was Dushasan's bhavan. Very well maintained and well all opulent, like that. इधर आ जाइए, जय जय। Then so we will offer him very opulent foodstuffs and all that, and then we'll give him offer very valuable gifts and all that. Vidura said, what, he doesn't need all these things. He just is satisfied if he's offered some cow. He's very fond of cows. That is why it was decided like that. So Duryodhan, in Andhra we have a nickname for them. Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna and Shakuni. They are called Dushta Chatushtaya. Yeah? Dushta Chatushtaya. Chatu means 4. Chatushtaya. Dushta, 4 Dushtas of Mahabharata. Yeah? Duryodhan, Dushasan, Shakuni and Karna. मुझे मालूम है आप लोग, कुछ लोग कर्ण का फैंस होंगे. यू आर अ फैन ऑफ कर्ण? हाँ, कर्ण के साथ सिंपथाइज करते हैं, राइट? यू आर अ फैन ऑफ कर्ण?
No, but he was forced to, because he was abandoned by mother. That sympathy goes to him.
Yeah.
He was in the bad company, otherwise he was a very good,
Yeah.
good man, committed man.
Because he fell into bad association. That's why he got spoiled. Anyway, so they were discussing what to speak to them and all that. Then while discussing, Duryodhan mentioned, Duryodhan always had he didn't have respect for Krishna. So he used to, Duryodhan, Jarasandha, Kamsa, then all these guys, they used to caste-based ridicule. पहले जमाने में, right? Caste-based. So they used to, because they used to think they are all Vaishyas, and then Krishna is a coward man, coward boy. They used to ridicule him. and sarcastically call him Gwala. Gwala. ये ग्वाला हमको क्या बताया नहीं. So ये ग्वाला, so ये ग्वाला हटपट उटपटान ऐसा कोई उटपटान बात बोलेगा. So they said, we will arrest him. We will arrest him. So Vidura, Bhishmadev, Dronacharya and Krupacharya, they are all horrified to hear this. Do you want to arrest Krishna? Right? Like that. Then there was a discussion. In the Sabha, and then Krishna offered, he said, I didn't bring any proposal from Yudhishthira Maharaj, but whatever decision I take, they will accept. Yudhishthira will accept. He has given me power of attorney. So he said, I will offer, okay, you don't want to give Artharajya, Indraprastha. In the beginning, that was the proposal. Indraprastha, give Indraprastha or war? Yudh, yeah, Indraprastha. Then Krishna said, okay, if you don't want to give Indraprastha, keep Indraprastha. Then give 5 villages to Yudhishthira Maharaj. 1 each village for 5 Pandavas. Then he said, all of you know. So Duryodhana, Krishna told Duryodhana, why अपने माता गांधारी को तुम्हारे शवों के ऊपर विलाप करने का मजबूर क्यों कर रहे हो? ऐसा करके कृष्ण भगवान ने बोला. फिर दुर्योधन सब बाप पे मत जाओ, माँ पे मत जाओ, ऐसा बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में. मेरी माँ पे मत क्यों? तुमको कितना हिम्मत है कि तुम मेरी माँ के नाम ले रहे हो सभा में? ऐसा करके कृष्ण को इंसल्ट करने लगे. फिर एक्चुअली सात्विकी को पहले से ही पता चल गया, उन लोगों का गूढ़चारी सिस्टम बहुत ही स्ट्रांग था. पता चल गया कि ये लोग प्लानिंग कर रहे हैं कि कृष्ण को बंदी बना दें. So that time, so Duryodhana became very angry, and then he said, let us arrest Krishna, this Bala, that he is insulting my mother. Krishna said, what do you think? You want to arrest a person to receive whom? Bhishma, Drona and other great personalities, came to the edge of the village, city, with so much grand and welcome they given me. You want to arrest me? So arrest karke dekho. So then Duryodhana ordered, arrest this one. Then all the Sainiks, they came with ropes and all. And immediately Krishna just, chased them and pushed them away. They all fell down there. And then Krishna showed his Vishwarup at the time. So those people who wanted to arrest Krishna, they could not see the form, Vishwarup of Krishna. But Bhishma, Dronacharya, Krupacharya, Vidura, and Narad Muni, all the sages, that time they saw Krishna's Vishwarup. And Dhritarashtra Maharaj, he was actually asking, what is this? Halchal kya ho raha hai? There is a halchal ho raha tha sabha mein, because everybody fell unconscious. And Vidura told Dhritarashtra that Krishna Bhagavan, Vasudeva Bhagavan is showing Vishwarup. Then Dhritarashtra Maharaj prayed to Krishna that right from the childhood I was a blind man, but I have a desire to see your Vishwarupa. Please award me drushti. Then Krishna just showed his mercy on Dhritarashtra. Santosh, why did Krishna show mercy on Dhritarashtra? दुष्ट था ना वो, एक नंबर का. How come he got such mercy? Dhritarashtra, he was so much against Pandavas, doing so much ill activities, but still Krishna showed him mercy. You know why? Bolo, Srinath Krishna. Bolo. So these are all, Dharma Sutras, Sukshma, Dharma Sukshma. Dharma Sukshma is hidden gems of Dharma. Because he had very good liking for Vidura, who is a Mahatma. So anybody who has good relations with the devotees, they will also get benefit. That is the beauty. So it's not an ordinary thing, All big people, they could not see Vishwarupa. Dhritarashtra is not a devotee or anything. But because he is close friendship with Vidura, who is a great Mahatma and who is a great devotee of Lord Krishna, Krishna showed his mercy. So that is the secret. So when a devotee like Srila Prabhupada says that he is my man, then Krishna will definitely show mercy. So then Krishna that time showed mercy, gave mercy to Dhritarashtra, and then Dhritarashtra also saw the universal form of the Lord. Then Krishna said, if you want to retain your eyesight, I will let it. Then Dhritarashtra said, after seeing universal form, I am very sure that all my sons will die. Because you are on Pandava's Paksha. Jayatu Pandu Putrana Esham Pakshe Janardana. Sanjaya says, Jayatu Pandu Putrana, Esham Pakshe Janardana. The victory will belong to Pandus, on whose Paksha, on whose side Janardana is there. So that time only Dhritarashtra knew it. So then Dhritarashtra said, I have never seen my sons when they are alive. So in few days time they are going to die. I don't want to see their bodies, dead bodies. So let it be. Whatever it is, give that later on. Vyasdev also from the beginning of the war. Vyasadeva also told, you want to see the war, I will give you the eyesight. He said, no, I don't want to see dead bodies of my sons. Give that Divya Drishti to Sanjaya. So Sanjaya was able to see everything. Right? So by the mercy of Vyasadeva, Sanjaya also got this, because if you remember 11th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was there and then Krishna was there. Arjuna requested Krishna, please show me your Vishwarupa. If you think that I am qualified, you should never ask Krishna like, if you tell Krishna, if I am qualified, please take me back to Godhead. If I am qualified, give me this. If I am qualified, like that you should ask from Krishna, not that you demand. Then Krishna said, I will give you Divya Drishti, divine eyes, so that you can see this form. So with this eyes, we cannot see the Vishwarupa. But Arjuna got this vision. So Prabhupada says that Sanjaya is also seeing universal form of the Lord. That means Vyasadeva and Krishna gave him also that vision. Right? So Sanjaya is very, very fortunate. He's a fortunate hero, because he was able to watch everything. And then Vyasadeva gave him benediction. Not only you are able to see, you will be able to hear everybody talking, what they are talking in their sibiras. What discussions are going on. That also you will come to know. Not only that, what is in their mind also you will come to know. That was the benediction he got. Anyway, so that is why it is a very, very wonderful to see Vishwarupa of the Lord. And that's what here Sanjaya is saying. Right? Another two instances Krishna showed his Vishwarupa. Anybody can recollect? Madareshwar. One more time, after the war was over, Krishna showed his Vishwarupa to one sage. Right? Huh? You remember? I narrated that story also. Huh? Uttar ka, na? Spiritual master. Yeah. Yeah. He was a very faithful disciple of his Gautam Rishi. That's why, by his blessings, Uttanka Muni, when he requested Krishna to show his Vishwarupa, he showed his Vishwarupa. Like that. So, because Lord Rama you never see, right? You don't see, right? Vishwarupa. Right? You don't see Lord Nishingadev showing Vishwarupa. Right? Matsya Avatar showing Vishwarupa, or like that, but Krishna Bhagavan showed Vishwarupa. So Prabhupada says it proves that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because all the forms, all the incarnations, all the amshas, they are existing in the body of Shri Krishna. Like that. Anyway, we don't aspire to see Vishwarupa, but we want to see Shyam Sundar form. Right? आप टाइम पे क्यों नहीं आती है माता जी? You should come on time. साढ़े 8 बजे आने का.
Before it.
So always remember, we are attached to the forms, right? All kinds of forms. And that attachment to the forms entangle us. Man is attached to the form of a woman. Woman is attached to the form of a man. And we are attached to seeing different sceneries. Eyes are attached to different things, right? That is why Prabhupada says. So here, our Sanjaya is saying, as again and again, when I remember the form of the Lord, right? He's saying, Drishyamicha punah punah. I am getting more and more blissful, right? Suppose if you remember the form of some heroine, do you become blissful? Huh? Kumar? Akash? Huh? Yeah. Ronak? Rohan, right? Do you become blissful if you remember somebody's form? Huh? विशाल क्या एज हो गया? एज हो गया. Right? They are boring, right? But here, uh, he's saying, the more and more I remember the form of this Lord, more and more I am becoming blissful. Right? Becoming blissful. I'll give you some exercise. You do this, right? Whenever you come to the temple, take nice darshan. Or every day we get photographs of the Lord, right? 5, 10, 15 minutes, look at the form of the Lord. Right? Look at the form of the Lord, right? And close your eyes. Close the camera or something, right? And then try to remember the form of the Lord. That is, you try to see the form of the Lord with bhavana netra. Kya hai? Bhavana. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, right? Aham sarvasya prabhaha matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. भाव होना चाहिए, भाव, right? भाव. So try to remember the form of Shri Shri Radha Rasa Bihari. The more and more you remember the form of the Lord, the more and more you become blissful. So in the beginning, you may not feel blissful, but the more you remember the form of the Lord, the contamination in the heart goes away. When the contamination in the heart comes down, then when you remember the form of the Lord, you feel very blissful. Right? So that is why Prabhupada said, all the grihasthas, they should worship the deities at home. You wash, you clean, you give bathing to the Lord, you decorate the Lord, then you offer food to the Lord, then you massage the lotus feet of the Lord. Then Prabhupada says, automatically the form of the Lord gets imprinted in your heart. Usually in ISKCON, everybody advises that you try to hear the holy name of the Lord, right? Then somebody may ask, what about imagining or remembering the form of the Lord? They say, no, don't do it. Hear the sound vibration of the Lord. But since 1996, I have been dressing the deities. So after dressing the deities, when I come up, even now also, after doing Aarti, when I come up, when I close my eyes, form of Radha Rasa appear in my heart. So I have this, that is why after coming up, I used to chant my rounds. Then that time I would remember the form of the Lord and chant. And then automatically the form of the Lord appears in my heart, because I already dressed, and then it was fresh in my mind, like that. So it is very, very important to remember the form of the Lord. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Right? Whenever Narad Muni or Lord Kapila gave advice to Devhuti how to do devotional service, then Lord Narad Muni gave advice to Dhruv Maharaj, and our Lord Shiva gave advice to Prachetas, they all, describe the form of the Lord. And then Prabhupada says, this is not imagination, because they saw the Lord, they are describing the form of the Lord. So the deities of the Lord, they were actually sculpted according to scriptural injunctions. They are not imaginations. They are the real form of the Lord. Right? So whenever you go, suppose you went to Jagannath Puri, then you take darshan of Lord Jagannath and come back to your lodge, and then for a few minutes remember the form of the Lord. That is called Bhavana Netra. You see the Lord with the Narada Muni advises Prachetas that darshanam no didrukshanam dehi bhagavatarchaya rupam pritimayam swanam sarvendriya gunanjana. He says, my dear Lord, he is praying to Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva, he is praying to Lord Krishna that please give the darshan of your most beautiful form, which your devotees worship, and then which is pleasing to all the senses. Sarvendriya Gunanjana. Rupam Pritimayam Swana. Snigdha Pravruddha Ganashyamam Sarvasaundarya Sangraham Charvayuta Chaturbahu Sujata Ruchiranam Namo Padma Palakshasya Sundarabrusa Nasikam Sudruvam Sukapolasya Samakarna Vibhushitam Priti Prahasati Pangam Alakai Rupa Shobhitam Lasat Pankaja Kinjalka Vikulam Nishta Kundalam Smaran Kirita Valayam Aranupura Mekhalam Shankachakara Padma Manimala Uttama Riddhimat. So this is the description given by Lord Shiva. And then Prabhupada says, Lord Shiva is all these impersonalists, they worship Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva is describing the beautiful form of the Lord. Then he is advising, think of the form of the Lord. Right? Prabhupada wrote, please go back and read 4th canto, 24th chapter. Siddha Pravruddha Ganashyama. Prabhupada writes in the purport that, in India, the summers are very scorchingly hot. When people are suffering from scorching heat of the summer, when the monsoon arrives and then when it rains, seeing the clouds filled with water, people get great relief. Right? In the same way, we are all suffering from threefold miseries, tapatraya. The heat of these threefold miseries. But when Krishna's form is Ganashyama, his form is compared to bluish black, like the clouds, Neelamegashama. So that cloud, when gives water, our thirst and relief from the heat we get. But this cloud, that cloud may finish up the water, but this cloud, Ganashyam, Neelamegasham, Krishna Gana, Ganashyam, Krishna, he gives Amrita. So Prabhupada writes, those who remember the Neelamegasham, Krishna, Shyam Sundar form of the Lord, just like people suffering from scorching heat, when it rains, they feel relief. In the same way, when we remember the form of the Lord, we also get the relief from the threefold miseries. Right? हम कितना भी फैन यूज करो, कितना भी एसी ऑन करो, राइट? एसी से बाहर आना ही पड़ेगा ना, पड़ते हैं. लेकिन if you remember the form of the Lord, right, then automatically we become very blissful. For that you need abhyas. Okay? That's why I keep on saying in my classes nowadays that instead of thinking mundane things, remember Krishna's form, remember Krishna's name, remember Krishna's qualities, remember Krishna's pastimes. Right? हमारा और बच्चों का क्षुद्र लीला याद करने से क्या फायदा? मैं जब भी घर जाता हूँ पूरा पुराने बातें दोहराते हैं. एवरी टाइम वी स्पीक दे स्पीक द सेम थिंग. ऐसा किया, ऐसा किया, ऐसा किया. राइट? पेरेंट्स आल्सो देर मैं बचपन में ऐसा करता था, वैसे में ऐसा करता. ऐसा बात करते हैं, बोलते हैं रिमेम्बर. राइट? बोलती है तुम्हारी माँ? क्या बोलती है?
मैं कुछ करती हूँ तो
हाँ?
मैं कुछ करती हूँ तो वो बोलती है कि मैं नहीं करती.
एक बाप बोल रहा था ना बेटा से, तुम्हारा भाग्य अच्छा था, तुम एसी रूम में लाइट के नीचे पढ़ रहे हो. हमारे बचपन में स्ट्रीट लाइट के नीचे बैठ के पढ़ते थे. फिर वो बेटा ने बोला, स्ट्रीट लाइट के नीचे क्यों बैठने का, सुबह का टाइम पे पढ़ना चाहिए था ना. मेरा फादर भी ऐसा बोलते थे. राइट? ये सब बहुत सारे चीज़ याद रह जाते हैं. लेकिन उसको रिप्लेस करना चाहिए हम. राइट? सो वी शुड fill our thoughts with Krishna's form, Krishna Leela, and then Krishna's gunas and Krishna's name. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. ये बहुत ही important है. Right? Remember, because mind is always working, Mind is always working. Even when we are asleep also, mind is working. Okay? You subdue the mind, then you will be very happy. So how to subdue the mind? Remember the form of the Lord, remember the qualities of the Lord, and remembers the Leelas of God. Same way Narad Muni also describes form of the Lord. Very beautiful. He describes the form of the Lord. Prasanna abhimukena shashvat. Prasanna abhimukena shashvat. प्रसाद है बदने क्षणम सुनासम सुब्रुवम चारु कपोलम सुरसुंदरम. So one thing we should always, Prabhupada says, one thing we should always remember when we see the form of the Lord, when we see the deity form of the Lord, especially when you come to the temple, Prabhupada says, you should always think, visualize that Krishna is looking at you pleasingly. Krishna is never angry with his devotees. Prasanna abhimukena shashvat. Then prasada vadanekshana. He is always being merciful. Sunasam, his nose is very, very beautiful, like a champa flower. Sunasam. Subruvam, his eyebrows are very, very beautiful. Right? That is why बहुत पैसा खर्चा करते हैं आईब्रोज के ऊपर, है ना?
पहले नहीं
हाँ?
पहले खाली काजल लगा,
आईब्रोज के लिए काजल कौन डाला?
पहले ये नया नया आइटम आया.
So, but it is said that if somebody is affected by lusty desires, one must remember the beautiful eyebrows of the Lord. Right? Instead of spending so much money and chasing, better to remember the eyebrows of the Lord. Remember the eyebrows of the Lord. Subruvam, Sunasam, Subruvam, Charu. Charu means beautiful. Kapolam. Kapolam means forehead. Right? Forehead. Very broad forehead. Krishna has got very broad forehead. And then Surasundaram. Right? Surasundaram means he is much more beautiful than all the demigods combined. Surasundaram. Tarunam Ramaniyangam. Aruna Usta Ikshanadaram. Tam Tad Ashrayanam Nrumnam. Sharanyam Karunarnam. Right? So, Tarunam Ramaniyangam. He is very, very youthful. Then all his angas are very, very well formed and beautiful without even a speck of defect. Right? It is, they have what you call cosmetic surgeries and all. Right? नाक बड़ा हो गया तो छोटा करना, राइट? बहुत सारे खर्चा करना पड़ता है, राइट? ये लोग बोटॉक्स इंजेक्शन देते हैं, फिर कुछ दिन के बाद है ना, दिस बोटॉक्स इंजेक्शंस दे गिव सो दैट ऑल दिस रिंकल्स एंड ऑल आर नॉट सीन. कुछ दिन के बाद है ना, अभी मुंह फूल जाता है, राइट? पूरा मुंह फूल जाता है. दे गिव बैड रिएक्शन. But for Krishna, there is nothing like that. Tarunam Ramaniyangam. All his beautiful angas, all his angas are so beautifully, perfectly formed. Haruna Usta Ikshanadaram. His lips, they are reddish like bimba fruit. Right? Anybody seen bimba fruit? That it is described. Huh? What is bimba fruit? I don't know. We don't see bimba fruit. Then Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Prabhupada writes in the purport that in this world, everybody has to surrender to somebody or the other. But the person who is giving surrender, he is also not perfect. And the person who is taking shelter also, he is also not perfect. Because if a person is surrendering to somebody, and then if he is not paying some good salary, then he will stop that surrender. And there are many people who pretend to give surrender, but they are not capable of giving protection to the people who have surrendered. But we have to surrender to somebody or the other. That's why Prabhupada said, if you have to surrender, we should surrender to the perfect personality, that is Krishna, because Krishna is the only one who can give who can give real shelter, then complete protection to the person who has surrendered. That is why Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Karunarnavam means very, very merciful. Right? Shivatsankam Ganashyamam Purusham Vanamalinam Shankachakar Gada Padme Abhivekta Chaturbhujam. Every part, when we are thinking of the form of the Lord, starting from the lotus feet of the Lord, every part you should remember. That is why Narada Muni is describing each and every, in minute detail is describing. Go and read 4th canto 8th chapter. Narada Muni's instructions to Dhruva Maharaj. So, Ganashyamam, again it's Ganashyam, Neelamegha Shyam. His color is like bluish black, like a cloud filled with water. So, the Acharyas, they describe this blue color represents Shrungara Ras. That is why Krishna's color is bluish black. Shrungara Ras, Adi Ras, he is always enjoying, highest rasa with his devotees. Yeah. And then Shivatsankam, there is a mole on his chest. Shivatsa, Ganashyam. And then he is always wearing garland, beautiful garland. Purusham Vanamalinam. Prabhupada says Krishna is not something Jyoti or something like that. Please don't think that some Jyoti is there and that Jyoti has taken a form of Krishna. Many people, they think like that. Anybody thinks like that here? Some Jyoti is there and then the Jyoti takes the form of when it's, right? Like that there are people. But here clearly it's mentioned. These impersonalists and Mayavadis, they think like that. There is impersonal Brahman, he is the highest. And then he takes, when Krishna comes, he takes this form of Krishna. He takes the form of Brahma. Like that, they think that. That's why they are called Mayavadis. So, Purusham Vanamalinam, Vanamali, wearing very nice, beautiful garland. Shankachakra Gada Padma, Abhivekta Chaturbhujam. Like that, you can always read these chapters, how Krishna's beautiful form is described. Okay? I forgot to describe it. Lord Shiva's, Prabhupada says, whatever beautiful thing is there in the world, essence of all beautiful things is Krishna's beauty. Whatever beautiful thing that you conceive of, it's the essence of all beauty, Sarva Saundarya Sangraha. And then Sujata Ruchirananam, like that. So read all these verses and remember the form of the Lord. And then, when you are, take out some time, right? Suppose you are sitting in the airport, then the flight is delayed. Right? What you should do? Right? Instead of complaining and roaming here and there, just sit in and then close your eyes. Remember all these verses and remember the description of the Lord, and then remember the form of the Lord, and then think of the form of pastimes of the Lord. ऐसा ही time pass हो जाता है, you will not come to know how the time has passed. And I experienced that. I have no problem, if some flight is delayed, I have no problem. I just sit and think of all these things. Every day, every day, you can think of same pastimes of the Lord. Every day sit, suppose after the japa is over, we have 5-10 minutes. Right? Simply sit and remember how Krishna killed Putana. How many of you remember the Krishna's pastime of killing Putana? Huh? Putana came in the form of a very beautiful woman, wearing very nice sari and then golden jewelry. And then Krishna is lying there. What did Krishna do? Huh? He closed his eyes. And then there are so many reasons when it's discussed. So Putana thought, this boy is not an ordinary person. Antakam Anantam. He is Ananta, but he may kill me. Like that, Krishna gave her intuition that I am going to be killed by this boy. But still she went ahead. Then she chastised Yashoda and Rohini. Harry, you are not taking care of the baby properly. Prabhupada writes, Yogamaya is bewildering Yashoda and Rohini. Otherwise, no mother would allow his child, for some other woman to give milk, ऐसा कभी होता है क्या? No woman, no mother would allow, right? Some other lady to give milk to the child. Right. Then immediately she took and then she applied Kalakut Visha on her breast. Then Krishna became very angry. So Krishna's lotus feet was touching, her body. Then with one hand he very tightly caught on the breast, and with another, then with mouth, and then with mouth, he immediately sucked, the visha and also prana of the. He caught so tightly that this munchati, they say it is a Upanishad mantra actually. Munchati. So she was chanting this mantra, munchati, because being touched by a beautiful transcendental body of Krishna, she already became purified. That's why at the end, all these munis and all, they say munchati. Munchati means leave me. Then she got up and then she ran. And she left her body, and then she fell in the Kamsa's garden. Right? Meanwhile, hearing the cries of Putana, all the inhabitants of Yashoda, Vrindavan, they were so devastated. Some thunderbolts are falling or what, some world is coming to an end or what. She was crying so piteously, so loudly. Then Mother Yashoda and all, they fainted. Then all the gopis, and then she was wailing and all. Then all the gopis, they saw the most beautiful, Neelamani, Krishna, playing on the chest of Putana. And immediately they picked him up. Right? They picked him up and they brought him. Right? This pastime, every day you can remember. Like that, then Shakata Banjana Leela, then Trunavrata Leela. If you remember these 3 Leelas every day morning, right? Velumangal Thakur says, you will get jnana. Krishna Sambandha jnana. It will be revealed in your heart. You want to remember? Huh? You understanding? Huh? You understanding? So 2 minutes, 3 minutes, we will remember. Whatever Leela I have described, you try to remember. Just close your eyes. Okay? Close your eyes. Starting from Putana coming, dressed up nicely, then coming to Gokul. Okay? Okay? कैसा लगा? Remembered? Did you remember? हाँ? कैसा लगा? हाँ? किधर आए नहीं जरूर? हाँ? ये सब वो किताब दिया था क्या? हाँ? कैसा लगा आपको? हाँ? Read Krishna book every day, and like that, many times, this Shakatapanjan Leela, how Krishna was kept under the cart, and then everybody is busy, and then Krishna touched his lotus feet, then whole cart fell down. Prabhupada says Krishna performed all these pastimes so that we can remember and become perfect our lives, perfect our lives. Practice, abhyasa. It will take only, how many minutes it took, right? The entire pastime you can remember in 5 minutes. Yeah. Huh? So if you can remember for continuously 12 seconds, how many? 12 seconds. Without getting any other thought. That means you are getting Krishna. Uninterrupted thoughts means only Krishna. You think about only Krishna. Right? When we are thinking about the pastime of the Lord, so many other thoughts also they come. Then you have to bring back your mind. But if uninterruptedly, if you can remember Krishna for 12 seconds, that means you are getting. Okay, thank you very much. Acha, this